Welcome to a tutorial about shockwaves. So start by drawing yourself some sort of background so you can see the shockwave. Just sort of... Oh! 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 Alright, okay, background done. There you have it. Now it's time to do a little action, alright? So let's say we want something to be happening in this a kind of foreground area, right? Something actiony that needs a shockwave situation. Maybe a dude getting punched in the face. All right, I'm gonna have it happen right here-ish. You know, I got a lot of good contrast here with this kind of stone arch, so I'm gonna put the punch right about there. Let me just get to animating. Okay, here we go. We're just gonna sort of draw the frames here. Okay, and the feet and the punch, the wind up. Got him. I even slow-moed it. You know, I did frame by frame slow motion, so it would be easier to work with. I said punch just moments ago, but he is in fact kicking now, and this is a really good base to work with. So if you ever have a situation like this, where you've animated a heavy, intense slow-mo action, maybe it's an explosion, maybe it's this. If you want to practice your shockwave, I'm gonna link this FLA in the description at the bottom. Back in Flash 8 now, so anybody can use it. There you go for that. Next step, the shockwave. So the first thing you gotta do, get a brand new layer on top of everything. I'm gonna hit the hippity top hip hops. All right, go up here. Go to the moment where you want the shockwave to begin. Right there, that frame 39. Slam a new blank keyframe down. Zoom in a little bit. All right, you're gonna get yourself a little bit of a circle. Okay, now things are going to be kind of tricky for the way that I want to do this shockwave, because I want it to look like this sort of inverted circle. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You can do this with any shape you want for just distortion mapping in general, but mine is going to be this kind of circle within a circle. Pretty common shape. Let me do this. If you need to cut out the inside of a circle using another one, first copy it, then make it into a group, then paste it, make that into a group, scale it down, you know, just a little bit, and then move it over. Okay, and this next thing is important. Select the back one, break it, select the front one. That was actually a little bit too big. Let me scale it one more time. That's pretty good. Let me move it over, and then break that one, and then select the out one, and select the in one, and delete the in one. Bam, you got yourself a cool shockwave shape just for you. Next step, all important, you're gonna grab this guy, make it a symbol, gonna tween it kind of nicely. You want it to do an easing in tween, so it starts the way that you want it to, real nice and little. This is where the distortion is happening. Okay, and then out here, in fact, I kind of don't want the edge of it to be seen because it's got to be behind the character, so I'm just going to kind of cheat and cut it off. That's good enough. Okay. The next frame of it is it being giant and over here. Like he broke this sound barrier or something. And maybe I'll scale it vertically just a little bit so it's not cutting into the ground too much. Okay. You're looking really great so far. Just tween it. Just add a little of that easing in. Go edit. Slide this way down to the bottom. Slide this way to the right. All right. So it's like, and then time speeds back up. Whoa. Hold on. Andrew, did you make a mistake? Yes, I did. But I'm gonna fix it by adding the easy and ease out. The easy and ease. See, this is the. But you also have to come into it pretty fast because time has to slow down too. All right. See, we both learned something today. Now, you can do that, and then he's out. So match up your timing here. Also, never have it slow down to a total stop. That doesn't look as good as I thought it did. Maybe just to a fair stop, like that. So it's like, I'm going to make it a little bit longer to match up with my timings. Okay, really good. Excellent. Now, what do I need to do? Get rid of those. Just go in here. Watch it. one time through. Great, great. It's working with my time mapping. Now, I don't like stuff on singles. It freaks my eyes out when I have all this stuff on doubles. So I'm just gonna kind of like undo that by doing this. Give me a second. I'm gonna remove frames and then extend frames. This is looking much better to my eyes. Right there. Just when stuff is on doubles and singles in the same animation, it's weird. Oh well, you don't have to do that. You can leave it as a tween, nice and smooth and jazzed up. So next step, grab all of these frames, the entire animation. All right, copy, and then you're gonna make a new layer right above this one. I think I never remember how masks work, but it's not important right now. Just get a new symbol, go into this. Don't even call it anything, but do make it a graphic. Paste the frames, paste it right up. Go back out of here, drag this. All right, so the way you want to do it, get yourself a little bit of alpha on this graphic and line them up sort of. Like, this is the distortion, so maybe set your origin around where the shockwave happens and scale it up just a smidgen, kind of like it's a curved shockwave, so it's just don't worry about it, or maybe make it smaller. You know, that's not a bad idea. Just a little bit, and then offset it by like some. All right. Now, the all-important mask. You're gonna wanna. I think this is how it works. I think you do that. Your red stuff, your shockwave goes on top. Right-click it, mask it, unlock both of these. Go back, turn your alpha all the way up. Just turn your alpha to none, and then. Check it out. Check that out. Look at what's going on here. Woo! Oh my goodness gracious. And to get rid of that little glitch at the beginning, just go ahead and cut off your thing, your distortion leading up to the part where it's shockwaved. And remember, to be able to see the effect in your workspace, both layers have to be locked. Otherwise, you'll be getting this weird... You don't want to see that. So, look at that final effect right there. Woo! Oh my goodness. Spicy. If you want to give it a little bit of extra flair, you know, give yourself some contrast in a point where there is none. I might do that by taking my cloud and sun layer and just moving them down a little bit. I'm thinking, well, now it's in the line of disruption, which is better for me because I want to be able to see it. But it kind of makes the clouds seem out of context. So I'll take these clouds, duplicate them on a new layer, and then go up and stretch them out. Yeah, and just like move it like that, you know? Whatever. Nobody's going to notice. Flip them if you want to be safe, so nobody will be able to tell that they're the same clouds. Okay. And then now that you've changed something, it's not changed in your distortion map just yet. So grab everything that is different, that's the sun and the clouds, and copy those frames and go into the symbol, the graphic, and then delete your sun and your clouds and just paste them back in. Bam. And get rid of any of the excess. You should be looking at a mighty fine distortion. Whoa. Something's not quite right, however, because when I export it, it only has like that outline, which is weird. To fix that little glitch at the end, just cut off your mask. Let me figure out why it's doing that and tell you why. So I figured out what was the problem. I'm not sure why, but if I just sort of unclose this enclosed shape and go export again, it will fix it in the final swoof. The push comes to shove method would have been just to export it as a PNG sequence and then compile it elsewhere, but try not to have closed shapes, I suppose. I'm not entirely sure why. It might be a glitch with Flash, because it seemed like it was not normal, but otherwise, you can apply this method to anything. Like use it in a circle going around an explosion. You can use it for like up to other things too, like glass, making some distortions in reflection. Anything you want. Just it's an easy way to make it look kind of beautiful in slow motion. That's all. Thanks for watching the tutorial. I'm going to be coming back with some more tutorials soon. Have a good one. Hope you learned something. Or you didn't. Bye!